Alright, Shalom. Call Halal Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai. So, Brother War, making another video to edify you Israelites out there, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And, Khan. Alright, Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai. Right, and I was just looking for something to make a video on. And I hit up Lisa Cabrera's channel. And I seen this in this video. It was like her second, is it? She did this one day ago, and it made me think about the judgment that's coming. The Most High is getting ready and setting in place a judgment that's about to happen to the virgin daughter of Babylon, which is well deserved. Right, whoops. So let me jump back to this article and hold up. Let me get the scripture. Let me get a scripture first. This is, I believe it's in Revelation, and maybe 18:20. Is it 18 go to 20? No. 18. It is cons 18 and 20. So this is Revelation chapter 18 and verse 20. Oh, con. Right, this is speaking about America, right? But this is the ultimate judgment is that. Yeah, we can start at verse 19. Right, oops. And Revelation 18 verse 19, and they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. Right, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High hath avenged you on her. Right, so the Most High is gonna avenge us on Babylon, on America, right? This modern day Egypt and Sodom. That's what the Most High is gonna avenge our blood off of this place, because this place of America, ain't no nation on the face of the earth shed as much Israelite blood as the so-called white man has done, and especially in the Americas. Right, so Revelation 11, she was drunken with the. Hold on, she was drunken. There's one that I want where she was drunken with the blood of the saints. All right. Well, I can go Google it right now real quick. From an online game I play. Okay, it's Revelation 17 and 6. And I'll start at verse 5. Let me get back to this. Revelation 17 and verse 5. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. Right? This is a place, and it's mainly the Edomites who started promoting pure wickedness on the face of the earth. You read Maccabees. I'll get it to it too, but you read Maccabees, the first Maccabees, and it talks about how after Alexander the Great reigned, wickedness was multiplied in the earth. So through these Edomites, their sin, their wickedness, they've been promoting sin on the earth, right? And America is the one influencing all the other nations and all the different countries to be sinful too. And everyone wants to be an American. Everyone wants to live in America, right? And it's that's why she's the mother of the abominations of the earth, right? And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Right? So this place is drunken. America is drunken with the blood of the Israelites, the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man. Right? So let me get the article. Right? And this is a part of the judgment, because these people don't know what's going on. Let's read a little bit. It says Atlanta More than 45 million people. Drought conditions worsen across 14 southern U.S. states. This is October 3rd, 2019. More than 45 million people across 14 southern states are now in the midst of what's being called a flash drought. That's cracking farm soil, drying up ponds, and raising the risk of wildfires, scientists said this Thursday. Right, the weekly U.S. Drought Monitor report released Thursday shows extreme drought conditions in parts of Texas, Alabama, Georgia, Kentucky, South Carolina, and the Florida Panhandle. Lesser drought conditions conditions also have expanded in parts of Arkansas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Overall, nearly 20% of the lower 48 U.S. states is experiencing drought conditions. All right, and this is a part of the Most High's judgment, which we last year. That's why I typed it and brought this up earlier. Last year, not even last year, just a few months ago, there was a flood, which was flooding all the farmlands, right, in America. Right, this one's June 3rd. Right, so much land under so much water. Extreme flooding is drowning parts of the Midwest. So they're saying for next year that there might not be as much food because of the farmers not being able to plant and grow as much this year. Right, weeks of flooding is drowning large parts of the Midwest, wrecking communities and turning farms into inland seas. On top of that, a near record number of tornadoes have wiped through the region, smashing homes and claiming nearly 40 lives so far. All this comes after the wettest 12 months in the U.S. since records began. So storms and near record rainfall have caused the region's 3 major rivers to flood, inundating communities from Nebraska to Michigan and Illinois to Oklahoma, driving tens of thousands into shelters, shutting businesses, and closing interstate highways. Yeah, this is the Most High. He's getting ready to jack this place up. Right, 2020 isn't going to be no joke. Look at another one. This was August 2019. This is about almost 2 months ago. Right, flooded out farmers find work rebuilding I'm not sure how to pronounce that word exactly. The levees that failed them. Right. And get another one. All right, floods impact on land values. Flood affects specific Midwest farmers suffer after floods. I got my life in this ground. Right, Midwest flooding has killed livestock, ruined harvests, and has farmers worried for their future. Right, look at that, man. Right, so let's get another precept. Going into this judgment that's about to happen to Babylon the Great. This is Jeremiah 18. Let's get verse. This one was talking about Israel too. Right? Wait, Salakia. So okay, let me get it in Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel 14 and verse 13. And it says, Son of man, when the land sinneth against me by trespassing grievously, then will I stretch out my hand upon it, and will break the staff of the bread thereof. How does the Most High stretch out his hand and break the staff of the bread? Right? Break the rulership and the producing of the bread, meaning food and crops and things of that. He makes it flood. He will flood the place. He'll cause a drought to happen, dry up the soil, and flood up the soil, the lands. Right? People think that it's just a coincidence. It's just a bad season. No, it's the Most High doing it. He says the Most High is using just like the Most High has angels, on the 4 angels controlling the 4 winds of the earth. Right. The angels are holding back the destruction. The Most High is using the angels, and the angels can manipulate the weather. They can manipulate all things on the earth. The same way how should I was able to stop the floods. He could the same way pray for the floods to come or the winds. Right. Right. So it says, and I'll break the staff of the bread thereof, and will send famine upon it, and will cut off man and beast from it. Right. They said in the article, is the title is said that the livestock got killed too. So the Most High don't care. He's killing man, and he's killing the animals too. And the land itself can't sin, so it's the people in the land. Right. And there's been a judgment pronounced on Babylon, the virgin daughter of Babylon, not the Babylon from back in the day. Right? This is Isaiah 47:1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground." There is, and see, that's how you know it's not talking about the ancient Babylon. It's talking, it said the virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Right, so the mystery Babylon was being called tender and delicate for a while. Is the so-called white man was able to get away with bombing Hiroshima and Nagasaki, making war with the Vietnamese, right, enslaving the Israelites, you blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, blaspheming the name of the Most High, doing all these wickedness across the four corners of the earth. Everywhere on the earth, the white man is killing, murdering, robbing, raping, destroying people. And everybody still wants to come and live under the white man, right? Take part in this kingdom that we built up, right? Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. So all these things are being exposed. All the things that are covered up are being exposed. You got JP Morgan getting caught smuggling. It's an Edomite, a white man owned company, right? You got Epstein getting exposed for having a whole child molestation ring going on and a whole private island for it, right? So all these things are being exposed. You got these so-called white people getting exposed for paying for their children to get into college and universities, right? And then not even just so-called white people, the heathen too, right? So all these things are being exposed right now about America. Their crimes are being brought up mainly through the servants of the Most High, the children of Israel on the street corners prophesying and preaching the gospel, right? Verse 3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, the Most High of hosts is named the Holy One of Israel. So the Most High is the Redeemer of Israel, right? So verse 6, I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. The virgin daughter of Babylon, which we know is America. Right, thou didst shew them no mercy, and what nation of people has been shown no mercy on the face of the earth? Who's gone through over hundreds of years of slavery, right? Rape, rob, and oppression, and all people say is get over it. Meanwhile, the so-called Jewish man goes through a few years of a little Holocaust, which ain't even nothing compared to what we went through. But everybody. People, you can't even make a joke about that. People you make a joke about the Holocaust, people look at you like you're crazy. People look at you like you're the most heartless person in the world. And the funny thing is that people that were doing the Holocaust were the same people. So it was the so-called white man committing crime on his own people, right? But because it was a so-called white man, everybody had compassion for it. But the children of Israel, the black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man got shown no mercy. We don't get no mercy till this day. So you can't be telling me those are the children of Israel, and they're being served with no mercy by the virgin daughter of Babylon. Right? Upon the ancient hast thou very, very heavily laid the yoke. And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart. See, that's what the so-called white man thinks in his mind. He's always thinking that America's going to go on forever. No matter how many signs, no matter how much in debt they are, no matter how much these other nations threaten them, right? The so-called white man in America, these guys are so prideful and don't think that nobody can take down their country, that their country can't fall. That all the ancient kingdoms of the world can fall, but America just can't fall, right? Neither did remember the latter end of it. Which the latter end is that they're going to go into slavery and be exterminated. Right? Therefore hear now this, thou that are given to pleasures, that doest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. Right? Is that not America to the T? Right? This land is given to pleasures. All the average people in America in Canada, all they do is they're on their phone. You go on the bus, about 70% of the people on the bus are looking on their phones, and what they doing on their phones, entertaining themselves, looking at memes, right? Looking at Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, right? If they go on YouTube, they ain't watching nothing. They ain't watching nothing that's gonna really educate them or anything of that matter. They're looking to entertain themselves. They're watching. I could go on YouTube right now and just go look at anything. It would be a recommended video. It would be one recommended video I just seen is someone driving through the same drive-through 1,000 times. It got like over 400K views, and I'm pretty sure it's a new video too. Right, so this is what this place is, given to pleasures. These people, the news don't even show what the things that are truly happening around the world to trouble people. So when the trouble comes, these people are not gonna know where it came from, right? Right, so right, so this is what's getting ready to happen. The Most High is getting ready to plague this place. This is 2019, so definitely the food stock is gonna be a lot lower for the next year. So this is a famine. A famine is getting ready to happen, man. A real famine is getting ready to happen in this place. Right, these people thought that nothing bad was gonna happen to their country after all the crime, rape, rob, and murder that you've done. Right, all the blasphemy against the Most High Himself. You devils go out and have the audacity to say against the Most High. Right. So Revelation 19:2, for true and righteous are His judgments, for He hath judged the great whore which did corrupt the earth with her fornication. Right. So what nation of people has more influence on the whole four corners of the earth? What nation of people influences the I swear I just seen an article on something like that too. RT News. You could go back to RT News and pull up an article on what is it? Was it on RT News? Right, the so-called white man has influence all over the world, man. You can't they got the East Indian woman trying to be American. You got the Ishmaelite woman trying to be American. Right, all the nations of the world, they try and be European. Right, their influence on different people's culture comes from the way the Americans say you can live. Right, and the children come over here and they start to lose their own culture and heritage and adopt the westernized society and way of living. Right now, and I see it personally. I know a lot of brothers see it personally because we growing up in Canada and America. You grow up in multicultural neighborhoods. You pretty much live around all these different nations, and you grow up and go to school with all these different nations, and you see how their children act. And mainly nowadays it's because Esau promotes Jake as entertainment. So the entertaining thing is they see is us. So people want to be like us and dress like us and talk like us. So you got nations calling themselves niggas now, sagging their pants. Everyone's listening to Drake and hip hop, right? Everyone's talking with slang, right? Everyone's dressing up like that's all it is now. And we're at the forefront of entertainment in America. Us and Esau. Right, ain't nobody know. I don't know no Bollywood. I don't know no Bollywood. No famous Bollywood actors or famous Chinese actors, world renowned. But you can name any. You can name me 10 music artists alone. You can name me 10 Jake athletes alone. You can't even name me 10 Chinese athletes in the NBA right now off the top of your head, right? Or even for Esau, it's the same thing too, right? But if I go and think about like some East Indian musicians, I can't think of any off the top of my head besides Nav. So you know this is the place that's been corrupting and putting their ideologies on everyone else around the world. It's America, it's Canada, right? They're the only place that have a world influence. All right, so I don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it, man. We know what's going on now, man. And the Most High has His judgment pronounced for you guys, for the virgin daughter of Babylon, for this fourth beast, the beast with the 7 heads and the 10 horns. Okay, so this will be the last scripture, Revelation 18 and 21. And the mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, "Thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all." Right, so this place is getting ready to be taken down with violence. So what's gonna happen? What's it when people want food? People are gonna be hungry. You think they're gonna wait and let's say there's like the government shelters will open up where people gotta wait in line. And some people are gonna get restless. Some people are gonna fight, and they're not gonna be waiting in line. Or if there's no food in the stores. You see how people act on Black Friday when there's plenty of things in the store. There's plenty of what's it called? Of goods in the store, entertainment, food, all these things are in the store, and mainly people going for entertainment and electronics. But you see how they act. You see how these people act in there. But watch what happens when the necessities that they need, your food and water, how much more these people are gonna act like animals, right? So the whole place is gonna be with violence. That's why nation's gonna rise against nation, right? Kingdom against kingdom. Right? People aren't gonna be playing in those days. All hell's gonna break loose in America. So it's gonna come down. The place is already divided up against itself, and that's a downfall. And all these things are ultimately a downfall for America. Bringing all these different nations in here, separating the people to keep them distracted by giving them different parties, the Republican and Democrat. All these things are coming up and turning up and backfiring on them, right? So when that civil war breaks off and the famine comes in, because all these things are here, the place is just not gonna. The people are not gonna come together. It's just gonna get worse, right? And the voice of the harpers, and the musicians, and the pipers and trumpeters shall be no more at all shall be heard no more at all in thee, and no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. All right. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth. Everybody who's really wealthy in the earth has had some part in economy with America, because America's the American dollar is the is it let me Google. Is it American dollar reserve of or whatever, something like that. All right. Well, look at that. They're trying to go to a digital currency. We know what they're trying to do with that digital currency, right? Well, whatever about this currency thing, I'm not much of an expert in all this extra stuff. All I know is that majority of people in the world that are rich have been dealings with America, man. Right? The banks are owned. Who owns these banks? The American banks is a Jewish man. Right? How they be able to get in position to own these banks and these educational institutions and these companies, different companies. Right? It's through wickedness, through rape, rob, and murder, through the hundreds of years of us working for free, and them selling goods back to people off of us. Right? You didn't have to pay us for it, but you're making a clear profit off of what we worked for. Right? Okay, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. Right? And in her was found the blood of the prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. Right? Ain't no nation of people been slain as much people on the earth as the so-called white man, alright? So the judgment's getting ready to come. Right? And those who have the eyes to see will see it. So with that, I want to say, Call Allah Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai and Shalom.